この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Orbits on Orb Day, Wednesday, and I'm here for episode 11. We just watched episode 10 yesterday, so it is nice and fresh in my brain, and I'm ready to go for the next one. And I've got a number of questions from the previous episode that I'm hoping will become answerable in this next episode. It seems to me that we are about to transition from relatively happy, relatively fun stuff to something a little bit scarier. And my reason for believing that is that the title of this episode takes a pretty dark turn from the title of the previous episode, which was pretty happy, pretty chill, just called Truth, thematically relevant. This one is called Terror. Uh-oh. And I have to imagine that that has something to do with the reintroduction of one creepy inquisitor to our story. One creepy inquisitor who has seen Oxy and is probably looking for him, at least on some level. Spooky! It also will probably bring Yolenta back into things, which is exciting. But I'm not sure what else we're going to deal with. There are a bunch of little weird setups that I've got big question marks about. We've got the tunnel. How are we going to use that for our escape purposes or to defray suspicion by being in different places or whatever? We've got Grabowski, who I'm not sure if he's pivotal, but we spent a good bit of time with him, and I'm wondering if he's got an important role to play that it isn't quite clear that he fits just yet. How are we going to reintroduce Novak into things? And what is Bedeni's little plan with the peasants that he's paying now, and the bread that he's giving to Oxy? What is he doing that for? I don't guess that he's just been convinced that altruism is the right way by whatever Oxy wrote in that book. I think Bedeni has some motive, some reason for doing that, for giving these guys more bread and making them better friends with Oxy. I wonder what it is that he's asked them for, and whether we will get the chance to find out. In the larger picture, Bedeni has finished his heliocentric model. He believes that it is complete, and we have no reason to disbelieve him. He figured out the elliptical orbits, and that seems to have clicked everything into place. From here, we have a much more dangerous game, because instead of just heretical writings wide and scattered, we have a coherent treatise and the desire to share it with the world. But sharing it with the world becomes immediately dangerous, because you show it to the wrong person, they report you, you're fucked, being hit with the pair of anguish and all that shit. So, where do we go from here, Bedeni? You've got the reins for the most part, unless Novak takes them from you and determines the direction of our story here. But otherwise, it's our oyster. It's ours to do with what we will. And I don't know what we will with it. So we'll have to watch the episode and find out. I am going to do a drawing. I did a drawing yesterday, and it actually sort of blossomed into some other stuff, so I'm going to talk about that for a second and then do my own drawing, okay? Okay, so yesterday, as you know, if you were here, I drew the sort of Berserk-inspired holding the bayonet hand thing, and later in the day, I was sort of sketching kind of blurrily. I don't know if that makes sense. Something that I do when I'm trying to think of what to do for my next D&D game is I'll just draw, and I'll just let the drawing sort of determine things for me and sort of come up with stuff. So one of the first ones that I did was this, which was just with the marker, and I was sort of like, oh, forest out here, and drawing this like river or road that traverses down, and sort of grasslands, and just sort of fucking around with the space. Just shaping out space for myself, because I want to have an idea of what's in the surrounding area and kind of what it looks like and feels like. But then I ended up doing this one mostly in pencil, and this was a piece of paper where I had done a couple of sketches of the little like bayonet hand drawing in order to just figure out how I wanted it to sort of look. And so I ended up using the same paper so as not to waste paper in order to do this little sketch. So I drew this like road that goes over a bridge, and this was something that was inspired by a free run episode, and I want there to be like a hole in the bridge and all sorts of things around that. And I ended up drawing like a horseman up here, which I think will be a part of like some like Mongolian-inspired steppes, plains, archer, horseman people, which I think would be really cool. And then I ended up drawing like a weird thing that became like a fly that's also a spider, so I called it a flighter, and I'm going to make a stat block for it, and maybe a swarm of those will come and attack my party at some point. And we've got this cool, interesting chasm thing. Okay, so all of this stuff And then I draw a harpy, and I was like, oh, maybe the horse plains people are going and hunting harpies for their feathers to make headdresses out of. That sounds really cool. And then I was looking over here, I was like, there's no space, there's nothing over here in this space. Oh, but there are these weird hands sort of sticking up with an orb in them, and that's kind of cool. And then I drew another one, and it's just like, what if I had the fingers of that hand sticking up from the ground and holding an enormous orb? And then the question is, how do I get my party, my players, to actually go and investigate it and give a shit about it? And I was like, what if it glows? Big glowing orb that they see on a hillside in the middle of the night, held up by a creepy ass clawed hand that's like, I don't know, maybe 6 foot high fingers all holding this giant stone orb or something like that. Yeah, that seems cool. So now I want to figure out more about that. And so I'm going to draw it again, kind of, because like that one's that way. And I want to draw one that's like coming up from the landscape. And so that's my whole spiel. Ooh, that could be cool. I wish it was a little bigger. That's okay. I'll just work with it. Maybe an egg. Maybe an ellipse. This is one of those situations where I have no idea what this object is, or basically anything around it, and it is the drawing that I'm doing right now that is going to inform what I think it is. Which is weird. Okay, so maybe if you do something correctly to it, it unfolds like a lotus flower, and there's something inside. Okay. That comes up with a bit of an idea. I think it's like a mace or a scepter or something that'll be hidden inside this egg, held up by this weird hand, and I still need to figure out what kind of puzzle would go along with it, or like what would have to be done to interact with it to make it open up. And whether there's any additional danger, like if the thing is fucking radioactive, it glows, might be very very deadly. Okay, this is my ideation process for that, and I'm gonna put it right here. I know it's weird, but that's really how my creative process ends up working, is just sort of trying to open up blankness and tap into, I guess, my unconscious and try to just let the hand flow, instead of imposing what I want it to be, looking for what it ends up being out of what I've already drawn sometimes seems better. It's weird. Anyway, let's go ahead and watch episode 11 of Orb. I laid out my questions. I spoke about what I think is going to happen here. I'm excited. I'm a little bit spooked because terror as a title is a little bit terrifying. But mostly, I'm curious what all our characters are going to do. I feel like it's almost like a chessboard being established now, and it's unclear exactly where all the pieces are and what's moving where, but the intrigue is in what the next set of moves are, and those are really going to shape the board state, if that makes any kind of sense. What are we looking at here? I don't know. Let's watch episode 11 of Orb and find out. I've got the episode up and ready to go. There'll be 2 versions, picture-in-picture in the description, timer on YouTube, early access as normal now on Patreon, and a beep beep timer to count you down. Let's go. Hi, Novak. La la. I would be. Yeah, no, you definitely have not, have you? Yeah, no worries. Oh, goddamn paperworks. Hicha! It is really scary the way that he's focused on that being difficult. Eh? No, they didn't ask for that at all. You Machiavellian fuck. Oh. Oh, there's an advantage to he's laying out how to move up in the food chain. And he's like, this is the great wisdom that I can pass down to you. It's nothing to do with the religious aspect or the reasoning. Yeah. Uh oh. Wait, was he the one who told he was in one of the visions, wasn't he? Was he the dude who was talking to Oxy? Hmm. They don't seem to get along. Oh. The Inquisition is too costly, is it? Killing heretics. Hmm. Hi. Tell me how you really feel, Novak. Oh. Yeah, but yeah. That part. But it came from before, of course, I'm sure. Oh, no. That. Okay. Wow. Wow. Instantly punch a hole in your faith really quick. I gotta say, as scary as he is, Novak's complete lack of fucks given is kind of amazing. It's kind of amazing. But this, like, intrigue within the church, I wonder if this is going to lead to inquisitors trying to prove that the Inquisition is still worthwhile by ramping up efforts or something like that. Or if it just demonstrates some of the pressure that's placed on them. I don't know. It's interesting. Or is the bishop somebody that we saw in one of the early, like, visions of what the church policy is? It's something more like that. That's part of why he's familiar, isn't it? Okay. Terror! Were you about to go Inquisition a guy? Yeah. The fact that they're normal people? Ah. Ah. Oh, it's a woman. Interesting. Are they? He's getting to something bad. This is a witchcraft kind of thing. Just to make her talk. Oh, God. Classics. Got no idea. That won't do, will it? But she said she doesn't know. But she's a skillful liar. Why do we know she's a skillful liar? Because she's a heretic. How do we know she's a heretic? Because she's here. Why is she here? Because we said so. Yoy, yoy, yoy. The only answer is repentance, right? That is like the first time we've done anything clever visually in the entire show. Holy shit, we did a visual clever. Ah! Oh my god! It is a show! What? Ugh. This hurts me as much as it hurts you. That's the idea, man. That's the idea. He's like, but it's gonna crush your thumb. Yeah. Goal stated. You can't refuse. All I can think of is the cherry being squished in the OP. What a face! She has another thumb! There totally is! This world's fucked up and not fair, girl. Doesn't work that way, does it? Wow. He's taking it off? Ah, shit. Uh-oh. I'm now much scareder. The. I'm I'm much more afraid of Novak now. Of course you will. Turn it. Hey, hey, yo. He's so nonchalant. Oh, if you want to finish work early, you'll need a change of heart. Yeah, it's almost like you might get false confessions, as is very proven. Dameda. It's not possible. We are instruments. Whole. Terror. He's gonna. That's the word, isn't it? That was good. That was good. That was cool. That's cool. That's a cool idea. Cool way of expressing an idea. I don't like the idea itself, but. Oh? Is it us? Must be big stuff. Unless this is in the past and this is the heretic traveling. I thought he would apologize for that. Aww. Their friendship is legit. Yeah, he's bad news. For the greater good. Oh? Oh no, now I'm afraid he's not gonna get a later. There's so many books scattered about everywhere, too. It's all fucking freely accessible if somebody walks into that barn, man. Oh no. Hello, the girl? The appointed time? We're going drinking? It's the scene. Is one of them drinking water? I guess it's Yolenta. Did you do it? Whoa. Okay. We are in danger, right? Or no, the world is changing. I don't know what he's gonna say. The planet is moving. Yeah, with everything fading out. I thought that's what he was gonna say at first, too. Hmm. 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 Wow, he fully plans to go on the run. I wonder if this has any historical grounding. And I wonder what the republic that we're talking about is. None of this is going to come to fruition. Somehow this is all going to get exploded. Oxy! Huh? Oxy! Oxy the Scholar! Dude. Oh, don't do shit on his dreams. Don't you shit on his dreams, Badeni. Yeah. Great. Okay, that means she's on the team, though. She's actually doing stuff. That's really cool. As long as her shit's not getting stolen. Eventually. That's badass. That's badass. Oxy, you gotta latch yourself onto that dream. That's a big pug. That's a really good dream. Yeah, he did. So now Oxy's thinking, I need a drink. Okay, this has got to be Novak approaching, isn't it? Oh shit, if he walks in here, Oxy's gonna see him. Oh my god, that's exactly what's happening, isn't it? That's exactly what's happening, isn't it? Grabowski found the book. That's probably where this went. Oh god. Oh god, my tension is way up. Oxy's face. Excuse me, I have to go to the bathroom. Bye. Dude, they faced each other with swords. There's no way. But Denny doesn't know. Is he gonna play ignorant throughout all of this? He's gonna pretend he doesn't recognize him. Oh, I'm an inquisitor. Ah. Oh yeah, he can't say because Yolenta's there. Sure. He's got all the right lines. But Denny doesn't know, dude. You gotta signal Badeni. Dude, stop talking and bringing attention to yourself. Just pretend you don't fucking exist. We're just working on heresy together. Like you do. Ha 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 ha. Ow. Do you now? Oh, fuck. This music is insane. Oh. I was about to say, he's gonna say something totally chill. What a lying fuck. Okay, but Denny's playing it really carefully, but he doesn't know. I'm so scared. Because he does this, right? He does this. He'll talk chill and happy, and then he'll drop a bomb. He's gonna do it the moment that he leaves. He's gonna like pull out the book. By the way, any of you ever seen this? No? No, he's not. No, he's not. He's just gonna walk. Could he really not have recognized? Yeah. Could he really not have recognized Oxy? You are not safe, dog. Doggy dog, you are not safe. Sure. That's an Inquisitor, dude. Huh? Oh, he had a mask on. Oh, he did. Okay, I didn't think that he had the mask on still during that. I thought they had seen each other. He'd returned before he could say it. Hey, by the way, I forgot I wanted to talk to you about something. Dolo. Does he have the book? He's got the sword. Something else to confirm with y'all. But what is his lead? Oxy was trying to tell you, bro. The cutest music. Ah! That was an emotional roller coaster of an episode. Honestly, there weren't many up points in the episode. It was a lot of down. Blah, blah, blah. What a spooky fuck. I gotta say, it's really different from a lot of tension building or horror anime or film or anything like that, or even psychological stuff. It's really different. It's got this very particular feel. What's the it's like Anton Gisser or something like that. Anton Sigger from No Country for Old Men. Like that sort of haunting, almost inhuman presence. Well, that was a lovely, horrifying time. I don't know that there's really that much to dig into super deeply on this episode necessarily, because it's kind of the fruition of a bunch of expected things. There are some powerful and I think well executed moments through the episode. It's got a couple of things that are kind of novel for Orb, some like colored cut-ins of characters, which is about the most expressive cinematographically that we've been, except for, you know, like scenes of the sky, and those have been cool and interesting. It's not I think I said during it that it was like, oh, that's the only time that Orb has ever done anything creative visually. That's not true exactly, but it is one of the only times that it's done something outside of realism, right? Like our whole core has been realism with frills, and then finally there's something a little bit different, something added on top, and it's kind of nice. It makes me realize that so little of that is throughout the show, and makes me wonder how much different it would be if there was more of that sprinkled in. Similar is the moment when Novak goes magnificent, and there's all this like shiny colorful stuff around him, like a Kyoani background almost, super distinct, completely different from the rest of the Orb and rest of the show, and honestly almost jarring, like almost jarring, but really fun. And I feel like there's It could be really cool if there was a lot more of that. Terror is the title of our episode, and boy, oh boy, is it the focus of the episode. I think that the build up over the first half to the point where Novak actually says terror is excellent. And sort of reveals something about these titles and the reveals of the title that I've really been enjoying over the course of Orb, just sort of elevates it or makes it obvious to me. The way that we build up to that expectation has been really fun, and I've been enjoying knowing the episode title going into the show and sort of playing the game of wondering when it's going to come up and be said, because I think every time it's been a line in the episode, and in a lot of the cases, it's been built up to in a really beautiful way. Like Truth was built up to in a beautiful way, and a number of other things have been as well. So, like Move the World was really cool. Yeah. There are a bunch of those that I think are really neat. But this one was so terrifying. Sorry to say. Sorry to lean on the same word in defining it, but holy shit. That was genuinely spook-inducing, and that's pretty cool. Hello, Novak. And Novak's interactions with them immediately start off super interesting, super off kilter. Like, there's a core set of thoughts that you kind of expect him to go over, like interacting with these people, explaining certain critical parts of the job and what they do. And his focus is on something different. His focus is on, like, making your way up in the organization, and it's clear that that's not at all what's on the minds of the two characters, of the two boys, but it is what's on Novak's mind, and it's clear that it seems to be the thing that he thinks is most important for them to know. Does that make sense? So it's revealing. It's like really revealing of what Novak himself is focused on. He's focused Machiavellian on moving up in the organization, and very much not on almost anything else. He is entirely untouched by the emotional content and entirely focused on improving his station. And thinks, this is the most important thing, thinks that everybody else acts the same way. Thinks that everybody else is out for the same thing. Which is odd, but, well, when people are a little bit twisted, this isn't all that uncommon. It's not all that uncommon to think that other people are all twisted in the same way and to project one's own sense of why they're doing things onto the reasons that other people do things. And it demonstrates or raises the question, if Novak has a potentially abnormal viewpoint or perspective, is he continuously projecting abnormal viewpoints and perspectives on all the people that he talks to? And does that facilitate his work? I think yes. I think if he thinks that everybody is Machiavellian and out for their own gain to lie and destroy the world or whatever, then he can utilize that to justify everything. Because they're all doing the same evil as he is, and nobody's really got any sort of heart to them because Novak's never experienced that, let alone pity or empathy or, it makes him perfect for the role. Makes him perfect for the role that he's in. Super interesting. Okay, so I've mentioned a couple times in the last couple of weeks, I've been binging, like, YouTube true crime content. I find it really fascinating the way that interrogators work with the people that they're interrogating, and I'm kind of using it as a background to build, like, confident law enforcement characters for my D&D world. It's, like, hard. I don't really know how to act as a knight or a city guard interrogator or anything like that, and so this is one way to figure that out. But it's turned into, like, a wealth of information about people, different kinds of people, and the way that they think. And there's something... This is sort of a theme, is that people who are off, seem to think that other people are off in the same way. So you'll get killers kind of talking about how cool blood and violence and stuff is to the people that they're talking to, who are horrified by what they're saying, but they don't register that. It doesn't track. And I get that feeling, strangely, from Novak, where he's, like, talking about the thing that he's most compelled by is moving up in the ranks and getting favor from the bishop and all of this stuff, when these two boys are clearly like, we're really nervous about this whole thing Are you going to tell us about that what we're doing is right? Are you going to like justify it to us? Are you going to explain the religious significance of all of this stuff? Are you going to tell us that we've been given a great duty and like hype us up a little bit? No, he's going to explain to you in very straightforward terms how you move up the corporate ladder, because that's probably what you really care about anyway. But it's not at all what they care about. It's what Novak thinks everybody cares about. That's weird. It's weird, and it's, I think, a clever bit of writing. Don't worry, you'll get used to it, and just sort of brushes past the violence and the fear and stuff. The thing you should be most prepared for is this. Paperwork. Doing lots of paperwork. It's boring as shit. It's a real pain. And both of their faces go like, the fuck? But what you really want to know is how to move up the ladder efficiently, right? And they're like moved to speak, like, I don't think that's not really what I care about. And then he just keeps going. Blah, 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 blah. Which is cool and important for our exposition because it reveals this stuff about the bishop. But gosh, it's weird. Okay, at this point, I'm going to go back in time and I'm going to see if the bishop appears at like the beginnings of the first couple of episodes, just to skim through them really quick, because I feel like he did. I feel like he's really familiar. I'm not sure. Okay, it seems like the bishop does not appear at any previous point. The guy who was talking to Oxy, very different looking guy, dark hair, still tonsured and whatever. But the bishop looks completely different. We'll have to see how that evolves with him and his son Anthony and all that stuff. Okay, so we go through it, take out tons of smaller ones, earn a good reputation. Any questions? Why is he concerned with the cosmos? He used to study astronomy. Now he's allergic to it. So did he find something that unsettled him? What turned him against it like that? I don't know. I'm curious. Usually points to trouble long ago. So let's go to the Inquisition chamber, but before we do, we have this run-in with Antony, and Antony does not like Novak or the Inquisition and is laser focused on church finances. Super interesting. Are indulgences currently legal? I remember we talked about it in passing at one point. I think they are. I think the purchase of indulgences at this point is legal, which is probably a primary source of church funds. So he views the Inquisition as a worthless expenditure. A racket. New recruits, costing more money than you should be anyway. You're ignorant. Everything is about money. Inquisitors should know their place, and he just sort of acquiesces to that. Doesn't really care or know about him. Oh yeah, he's celibate in public. And immediately there's this like, what the fuck have we gotten into? Everything's a house of lies. But what are you going to do? You have to keep going. And that's exactly what they say after the torture has happened and the two boys are talking to each other. Like, what else are we supposed to do? We can't stop. Can't bow out of this system. There's no road out of here. This fucking sucks. So he poisons the well to start with. They're skillful liars, don't be fooled. And that's like, that's all the justification you need to not believe anything she says, to ignore it all, to allay those fears of like, well, what if she's telling the truth and doesn't really know? A lot of them are women. She went to the Black Mass, so thumb screws. There's good focus on the characters being scared of this situation. I think the horror of doing the thing is presented to be as palpable almost as experiencing the thing in this scene. And I think that's potent. I think that's important. It's cool. I keep saying like it's cool. I just want to be clear that I'm talking about the like conveyance of the terror of the thing, not the thing itself. In no way am I pro torture. It's a bad idea. It also doesn't fucking work. False confessions from torture are well documented. It's a terrible idea to torture people if you actually want the truth. But if you don't want the truth, if you just want a success rate, torture's great for that. I mean, goddamn excellent for that. So here's our clever little cut in. Just little cut-ins. Yeah. Little color cut-ins. More of that, man. This draws a direct line between the eye line of the two characters, right? Now Novak is looking at him, watching him, observing him, making sure he does it right. And he feels that pressure on him, like, shit. So he turns the screw. Don't you want this to be over as much as me? It's those little, like, thrown out lines that add to Novak's fucking terrifyingness. Because he says things like that, and it's like, it's a day at the office. Don't you want to be done filing this damn paperwork as much as me? Can't we just move this along? Please, come on. We're all on the same side here. It's creepy. It fits that Christoph Waltz performance creepiness. That, like, no, we're totally friends, but there's a murderous intent right under the surface. It's bad, man. Turn it again, but it'll destroy her thumb. Yeah, man. That's the point. We do this squelch across the floor. I think this is well put together to be fucking scary and gross. It's good stuff. And a good big scream from her as well. And we see that brown-haired boy just really is not able to stomach this. Please stop this. Please talk. But what if she really doesn't know anything? Do it anyway. And then she begins to pray, and the light is coming through, and it gives us this visual as he's looking at her like, oh, this is a repentant person. This isn't a demon trying to destroy the world. There's something false about this whole situation. He can't do it. Okay, but that doesn't change anything because you're just an instrument, right? Like, the thing will happen anyway. You don't really have any agency over this, which can pull the feeling of, like, being responsible for it away from these people, which I think is very important when you run organizations like this and you want to convince people to do terrible things, make them feel like they're not actually responsible for their actions. That's a great way to do it. Look back at some of the great and terrible tragedies and travesties and horrible war crimes that have been done, and lots of the time you've got people who are convinced that they are not responsible for it, that if they were to put down their gun and not shoot that prisoner, somebody else would anyway, and they'd be shot at the same time, so why not do it? Like, there's no win there. You're part of a system, you've got no choice in it, just go along with it. It doesn't change anything. You have no chance to change anything. It's pretty fucking hopeless, pretty despairing, pretty dark. And I could see that if you're in that situation and it's truly like Shogunai to everything, there's nothing that you can do about it, nothing that you can do to materially change it, then finding a way to accept it and a way to justify it internally is practically your only route. Whether that's like, I'm just doing the work of the church, or this is truly God's will, or heretics must be punished, or whatever the fuck you come to, it makes sense that you would come to some internal justification working backwards in order to explain why you had to do what you did. And it was right in the end. It was the right thing to do. At this point, brown-haired boy is not there. Novak seems to think that he'll get there anyway. Don't worry, you'll get used to it. He doesn't say that here, he says it earlier, right? You'll get used to it. In that case, back to you. Hurry up. She talks. And she talks. So we take a break. It's unclear whether they continue. I don't know. Because he apologizes for, like, I'm sorry for making you do that, but we didn't see him turn the screws a second time, did we? I get why it's hard, it's your first day, but if you want to, it's not even if you want to get used to this line of work, you'll have to figure it out. It's that if you want to finish work early, like, the only thing that you could care about is getting out of here early. You need to be good at it, you know? Man. But then he questions the whole thing. Is this really the right way? They might lie to escape the pain, and he's right on. Couldn't we talk to them? Couldn't we love, like, God's love? Maybe some of the scriptural shit? No. No. We have no authority. We do as we're told. There's that divesting of responsibility. And then heretics will do whatever it takes. They have a pact with the devil to change the world. So this now clicks into the Badeni, Oxy whole thing, because they do want to change the world. But if we frame that as a pact with the devil, a true expression of evil, then it justifies what we do. So what's most important to prevent that, to maintain our current world? We get this great image
血だ。
Is that she or chi that he says?
血だ。
期待侵害
Okay, I'm actually not sure whether we're making a reference to the title of chi or she being like close to death and stuff, and shinde and shikai and things like that. So I don't actually know exactly which he says there. When a Japanese speaker, let me know what phrasing or spelling effectively of she or chi is Novak saying here that would mean the title Terror? And is it a different title in actually, I should look at that. Is it a different title in Japanese? Okay, transliteration is chi. Usually blood, but unclear here. Okay, interesting. I'm not sure. I think it works really well as terror, as fear. And then he's interrupted. Hey, emergency dispatch. Personally named by the bishop. It must be something to do with astronomy. It's the book that Grabowski found, isn't it? That's why he's there. And that's why he's going after Bedeni and Oxy. Fuck. So it seems. You do owe me one, right? Thanks. But that man wasn't fazed at all. Either way, we have to go on. Okay. For the sake of humankind. Yeah, that justification, that belief in what they're doing has been instilled. They really believe it. Okay, so we abandon the barn with all the books scattered everywhere, which is very scary because if we make our way back there, or Novak walks in there, we're fucked. We're dead. So we re-meet with Yolenta. This is really cute and fun. I'm super glad. Have you made progress? But there's this feeling over the scene that other people, we're like really cognizant of other people being around them. It's like scary, as though we're being watched. It's like a pervasive feeling that we're being watched, being seen. It's finished. Well, at least well enough. And then, woof, we pull everyone away. In this very moment, we're moving. Oh, that's cool. It's not what I thought he was going to say. I thought it was something like, we're the only ones in the world who know this shit. But that's so compelling. Neither can I, but there's still much more to explain. So what will you do to a republic in the Southwest? I'm curious. Oh, whoa. The republic in the southwest of medieval Poland would have been Silesia, often associated with the crown of Poland and ruled by the Piast dynasty. Ha! How fun is that? I don't know if that's what he actually means in this case, but that's cool. Bad rumors from the abbot. I'll give up the cloth and hide. He's got a plan. And so does Oxy. He wants to go. I want him to go to uni, man. I think that's so cool. What a great goal. A dream, even. And she has a dream of her own. To publish a treatise in her own name. In the future, there might be an environment where everyone is equally free to study, and she wants to help build it. I'm so into that, Yolenta. I love that. And fucking Bedeni doesn't say anything stupid about it this time. He doesn't say any bullshit about, everyone free to learn. It's terrible. We connect this back to grass, which I really like that. And Oxy sort of stares off into the distance, having this moment of wonder and like, the world is opening up to me. The doors are opening. There are possibilities for the future. And then we have the arrival of this thing, and this build up, cutting from the inside to the outside, and the inside to the outside. Oh. He finished his book. God, that's scary, man. And there's Novak. Hello, father. And everything else fades away because Oxy is looking at the face of an inquisitor and he can say nothing. But I wasn't clear at this point that Oxy had the mask on the entire time. Yes, they stood eye to eye with each other across that little stretch of distance, so fucking close. But it was dark, and all he could see was his eyes. So he's probably fine, especially if we run on Batman rules, he's probably fine. But he's still suspicious of them. So why? He must have found the book, and it must implicate them somehow. Hey, by the way, what sort of work do you do? I help the church. And their banter is so cute and normal, and that's goddamn terrifying. Hey, have you met? But Denny takes over, and he's got it. He's got no reason to fear, right? Even if he did, I think he'd hold his shit together. We meet once in a while to exchange knowledge. Oh, knowledge about what? But he doesn't say that. He's proud. He's excited. Nothing that he says or does gives any indication that he's here for a different reason. It's just all this cuteness and good dad shit, and Oxy is fucking freaking out the entire time until he walks away, the shadows disappear, and Oxy falls apart. And then, in the midst of explaining exactly who Yolenta's father is, he reappears like a goddamn shadow or a ghost. He shows back up. Domo. Hey, so, I'm an Inquisitor, and I'm here for a reason. It's not us, man. We don't know nothing. We're just cool. We're cool. We're cool, bro. We got nothing to say. Fuck. What does he know? What does he know? And that's the scariest thing, because, like, he's gonna do that genuinely good interrogation tactic of not letting us know that he's onto us at all and letting us hang ourselves just a little bit until he can. Bam. Fuck. The necklace is out there. But what does he have now? What does he currently have, and what points in their direction? Unknown. And we'll have to find out next time on Orb. Thanks so much for watching this week's episode. I'll see you for the next one next week, or you can get a little bit early on the Patreon. Much love. Peace.